Hey everybody, what's up? This is Gardetrace. Episode 83 of Dragon Ball Super revealed something that I just could not believe when I heard it. I thought it was just the stupidest thing I could have ever heard from the series. According to Shin, the Supreme Kai of Universe 7, there are only a grand total of 28 planets with life on them within Universe 7. Let that sink in for a minute. When I heard him say this, I was just wondering, like, what the fuck is he smoking? 28? You mean to tell me within all of Universe 7, within every quadrant of Universe 7, within all of the galaxies within Universe 7, all of the solar systems, there are only 28 planets? That's what you're telling me. Well, I got news for you. Tell that bullshit to someone stupid. Because I got sense enough to know that that's the dumbest thing ever. Just think it through. Like, within Dragon Ball, there are so many different alien races. Now, not even taking into account like filler in movies. I'm not even taking those into account. I'm just talking about within the series. There are many different alien races, and one thing you know about a universe is fucking vast. Do you have any idea how big a universe is? Like, think about it. Just take our universe. It is so fucking huge that our planet Earth would not even be the size of a virus in comparison. That's how big the universe is. And you're telling me that there are only very few planets out there, just very few, because according to what he said that not counting planet Sattler, planet Vegeta, and planet Namek, as those are 3 planets that were destroyed, there's only 28. Here's the thing. Planet Sattler was the Saiyan original home world, which was destroyed, but then the Saiyans moved on to planet Plant, which was populated by the Sephorians, and then the Sephorians were wiped out by the Saiyans, and then the name of the planet was changed to Planet Vegeta, and then of course that Frieza would eventually blow up Planet Vegeta with a supernova. And then, Planet Namek. Now, one thing you have to take note about them. Planet Namek was destroyed, however, they moved to a new planet with similar living conditions. So it's not like, the number of planets with life on them would necessarily drop with the Namekians. It would more so drop with Sattler and Vegeta, because, this means 2 entire races, the Sephorians and the Saiyans, were wiped out. And, well, the Saiyans are on the verge of extinction, because there's only 3 pure-blooded Saiyans left, in Goku, Vegeta, and Targle. But the thing is, you're saying that there's only 28 planets, so that makes me wonder, what the fuck was the Planet Trade Organization exactly doing? Because there were so many planets that were stated to be under their control. There's at least 70 planets. Because with Frieza, what he does in his organization is they go to home worlds with planets that have livable conditions, and what they do is they wipe out the inhabitants of that planet and sell them off to the highest bidder. But this means that there were very few life forms to really choose from, and since Shin, the Supreme Kai, said that there's only 28, not including those 3 destroyed planets, it's like, okay, so who exactly are these other planets now? Because he said not including them, because he's not even taking into account that those are not the only planets that were destroyed. There were a lot more planets that used to be around. So he's not even taking those into account. You may try to say something like, maybe there's a lot less because, Frieza was blowing up planets or Majin Buu was blowing up planets, but even then it's still a fucking weak ass excuse. Especially when you're considering just who exactly are the Frieza organization going to sell these planets off to. So obviously there's a lot of life, there's many different life forms out in the universe for the Planet Trade Organization to even exist, to be a bunch of space pirates pirating all of these planets, wiping out everybody, taking them over, selling them off to these different aliens. So that right there just creates one hell of a huge inconsistency, because this means that there would definitely have to be a lot more than 28 planets out there with livable conditions. It's like, who exactly are they selling these planets off to when you think about it? It's like, how exactly does this work? They find somebody with a suitable homeworld. Like, who does this? It's like, who's actually, what are these life forms that are commissioning that the Planet Trade Organization wipe out these life forms on these planets? And especially if there's only 28 and before, if you're going to count those 3 destroyed planets, 31, this means that there couldn't possibly be that many. It doesn't make any fucking sense. One thing we know is that you can't use the excuse that Frieza blew up a lot of planets, or Majin Buu blew up a lot of planets, or hell, Beerus blew up a lot of planets. You can't use that excuse. They're blowing up the planets with the life forms on it, so those life forms are not exactly gonna be around to say, hey, I'm gonna commission you guys. I want you to wipe out this home world. It's got a nice environment we like to live in. I'll pay you good money for this. No. This whole notion completely fucks that in the ass. So it's just pretty much what it's saying is it's gonna be like the planets are all gonna be pirated, and then they're gonna sell them off to the highest bidder, and then somebody else is gonna come along and they're gonna commission even more money, and then they're gonna go back to the people that they just got the planet for, kill them for these guys, and the whole entire notion of that is asinine. What I'm kind of pegging this is that Shin is just very incompetent at his job. The thing about Shin is, we know that he's very incompetent. Now, let's say back in the Majin Buu saga, when we're introduced to him, we're given the notion that he's this badass character because he has this mysterious, creepy vibe about him. But then we just see just how much he really sucks dick at being a Supreme Kai. He wasn't even aware of the Saiyans that came to Earth. He wasn't even aware of them. He wasn't aware of how powerful the Saiyans were. He could have set plans in motion early on to prevent Majin Buu's revival, to be absolutely sure that there be no Majin Buu. He could have came around at an earlier point in the series to really prepare. If he's really a Supreme Kai who's good at his job, you'd think he would make a lot of great preparations for this. But no, he hasn't been. And it even makes me wonder, why didn't the Supreme Kai stop Frieza? Now, according to Supreme Kai, he could defeat Frieza in a single blast. And according to a source, it says that the Supreme Kai is 1,000 times stronger than Frieza. Although, take note, when they say that, they mean he's 1,000 times stronger than Frieza in his first form. If he were 1,000 times stronger than Frieza at full power, well then Majin Buu would have got his ass owned eons ago. You're a god of creation, and Frieza's going around wiping out life forms, killing everybody, just blowing planets sky high, and you're not doing anything to stop him. Why wouldn't you? What he's doing is no different from what Majin Buu is doing. The only difference is Frieza has an army and they're all doing it, whereas Majin Buu operates alone. That's it. That's the only real difference. It's like, you know, you could easily prevent Frieza from rampaging if you're as powerful as you are. So why are you so heavily fixated on Majin Buu? And if you're trying to give me this notion of, you know, free will and people should, and like, you know, people should be able to fend for themselves and whatnot, it's like, if that's the case, then why did he get involved with trying to stop Majin Buu's revival? Why would he get involved with that at all, if you want to use that logic? Why would he plan to use divine intervention at that point, but not for Frieza? Because Frieza is actively destroying planets, killing everybody haphazardly with no regard for anything, so, and you're not getting involved with him, even though with him you could easily stop. But Majin Buu, of course, you can't, and you're getting involved. But the thing is, the Saiyans at this point have become more powerful than you are. All of the adult Saiyans would whoop your ass by the time of the Majin Buu saga. Even Gohan, and that guy went 7 years without training. Billions upon billions of planets out there in the universe. It just doesn't make any sense for there to only be 28 planets with life on them. Even if planets are being blown up, it's like, okay. It's like, you know, you can blow up a planet, it's really not gonna bring the percentages of the amount of planets in the universe down or anything like that. It's like, let's say if one little tiny cell within your body were to die, it's like you have so many other cells that, you know, it's not even going to be noticeable. So it just doesn't make sense that even if you want to use the notion that the planets were being blown up, it just still does not make sense. But really, the Supreme Kai is just, he really sucks at his job. That's the bottom line. He must have miscounted, because there's obviously a lot of areas of the universe that he's overlooking. When you're thinking of planet Earth and planet Namek, those two planets are not even anywhere within the same quadrant. So I'm sure that between Earth and Namek, there has to be a whole lot of other planets out there to support life and to have, you know, living, functional organisms on it. It's just, no wonder Universe 7 has the second lowest mortal level. Because when you look at Shin, he's just so incompetent as a Supreme Kai. He doesn't know anything about his own universe. He's overlooked so much shit. And then you have Beerus, the guy who falls asleep 50 years at a time. It's like, wow. How long does he stay awake? Because if he has these long cycles of 58 years of sleep, he's not really gonna be around much to do anything at all. You two was blaming each other for why your mortal level so low. Here's the thing. The reason why is both of your fault. Both of you suck at your jobs. That's why. One ignores crucial details, the other's naps on the job. What this kind of feels like is that They're just trying to make an excuse as to why they're not going to go to other planets to find fighters to participate in the Tournament of Power. Even though, as far as I'm concerned, they kind of shouldn't, and not like an in-story reason why they shouldn't. I would say it's more so like a storytelling reason why they shouldn't, because, well, you would have to go and you have to go out of your way to build up and develop these new characters from these other planets within Universe 7 that are going to take part in this. However, you already have an ensemble cast of characters who desperately needs attention, because you have a bunch of characters out there where they're just completely overlooked in favor of the Saiyans, because, you know, by the time we get to the Majin Buu saga, if you ain't a Super Saiyan, you don't amount to shit. It's just, for the longest time in the series, like pretty much from the moment Raditz arrived on Earth, it's just been a case of you ain't Saiyan, you ain't shit. It's just not a good idea for them to even go out of their way to introduce more characters to be on the Universe 7 team, but they didn't have to do this stupid ass thing. It's like, this contradicts everything about, you know, the Planet Trade Organization, and also when it comes to Jocko the Galactic Patrolman. If there's only 28 planets to govern, what do we need that whole, like, what do we need to patrol a grand total of 28 planets that are likely sparsely scattered all throughout the universe? As far as I'm concerned, it's just the Supreme Kai just really sucks at his job. And I guess if you want a better answer for how many planets have life on them, go to King Kai. You know, he seems to be a lot more competent than that asshole Supreme Kai ever was. You know, King Kai is a good reason why he didn't stop Frieza. He's not as powerful as Frieza. So, Supreme Kai, what's your excuse? You just suck at your job, you know, Shin. You know, there was like once a whole bunch of, there was like once like more than one Supreme Kai of that universe, until Majin Buu came around, killed the rest, and absorbed the others, and Shin was the only remaining one. It's just, maybe Shin is incapable of doing this job on his own, but for whatever the reason, it doesn't seem like there's a whole bunch of Kaioshin in the other universe as well. It's like, you know, Shin, you're the only Kaioshin left, so it's all up to you, and if everything is all up to you now, well then we're especially fucked. Shin is very incompetent, and, well, really, Toriyama is very incompetent, because this does not make a lick of sense at all. So, bottom line, you're just telling me there's only 28 planets. Fuck you. So what do you guys think of this whole thing about there only being 28 planets? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Also, like and subscribe for more content to come. Also, make any suggestions you want through the comments below or through Facebook or Twitter. So that'll be the end of this video. Have a good day, everyone. This is Trace, signing out.